Well, hi there. In this Photoshop Elements 9 tutorial, I'm going to show you how to take an image and make some simple edits to it using things like the Lasso Tool, Quick Selection Tool, the Text Tool, and the Clone Tool, and the Brush Tool. So let's get started. In the description of the video on YouTube, I've added a link to this royalty-free mushroom. After you've downloaded it, you can open it up in Photoshop like this. A couple things happen. You get a layer here. Your tools are over here on this side. First thing I usually do is I usually double click on my layer, my background layer, and hit OK. That unlocks it. I'm also going to save this as a Photoshop file. This will make sure that I keep all my adjustments, layers, and any changes here. And I'm going to give it a name and save it. When you hover your mouse over the tools, it'll tell you what it does. So this fun little lasso tool, if I click on that, I want to select just this mushroom. I'm going to zoom in with my magnifying glass. I'm going to zoom in here, hold my mouse down, drag out a square, and now I'm nice and close so I can get a more detailed selection. I'm going to click on my lasso tool. I'm going to quickly, you might be better than this at me, but I'm going to quickly select just the mushroom. And do this. And after you've made that selection, you'll notice that the item has this halo around it. So that means it's selected. I can hit Edit, Copy, and then Edit, Paste. So a couple things happen. I've added another mushroom, but it's in its own layer. I can click on my Move tool, and I can drag this mushroom over to the side. I'm not that happy about the selection. Look, you can see I've selected some green there, and I could fix that with the eraser tool, but that might take up a lot of time. Okay, so I don't really like that. So let's go back to layer 0 and let's try a different selection tool. This time I'm going to try using my quick selection tool. With my quick selection tool, I'm going to make sure it's on positive, and I'm going to select everything in here. Now my brush is too big, so using my square brackets on my keyboard, I can make the brush smaller or bigger. You can also make it smaller or bigger here, changing this number. But I'm going to select just the mushroom. And I like the selection tool because it selects things that are similar. But in my rush, I've added this that I don't want, and I added that. So I can click on the minus tool, and I'm going to minus out some of the things I didn't want. So I'll minus that out. I'm going to make the brush smaller. I'm going to minus that out. Edit, Copy, Edit, Paste. With my Move tool, I can move this mushroom over, and that's a better selection. Photoshop has helped me make a better selection. I'm going to go back to layer 0, and another fun tool is the Clone tool. Let's say I wanted to clone this mushroom just so it's not alone. I want to have its friend right beside it. If I click on the Clone tool, now remember, you've got to be on layer 0. I'm going to hold Option on my keyboard till I get a target. I'm going to click once over here. I'm going to choose a different brush. And I'm going to make my brush a little bit bigger. And I'm going to start coloring. So it's copying, so holding my mouse button down, I'm copying what was over there. Okay, so I have another mushroom on this side. Again, to do that, I'm going to hit Alt, click on the object I want to clone, and I'm going to start drawing. So here we go. I'm going to draw another mushroom here on this side and down. Okay. Let's say I wanted to add some grass here. I can click on the brush tool, click up here, and choose a different style of brush. You have lots of different brushes, leaves, stars. I'm going to click on this grass tool, and I'm going to play around with two different greens. I'm going to have this green in my foreground and this darker green in my background. And again, I can change my opacity, but I like that size, and I can just start drawing some more grass. I'm going to edit undo. I didn't want it in that layer. I'm going to make a new layer and just start drawing the grass on this layer. So again, it looks pretty fake, but I'm just going to be showing you that we can have some fun with the brush tool as well. So I'm going to be brushing and coloring this area here. Now with brushes, let's say I wanted to change the color of my original mushroom. With my brush tool, if I hold my mouse button down, I can get what's called the color replacement tool. Let's say I wanted to keep all that nice detail in my mushroom, but also change the color of it. So if I click on here, let's say I want to get a little bit crazy and choose purple. As I color, it's kind of just coloring, it's making it kind of transparent. So I'm keeping that nice detail of the mushroom and just making it kind of crazy with this purpley color. So the color replacement tool is great at changing the color of someone's shirt, or the color of, like we're doing in this example, the mushroom top. Great. The last thing I want to go over is just a simple one, which is the text tool. Let's say I wanted to name my photograph, or some photographers like to add the name of the artist who did this photo. So I'm going to choose a font that I like. I'm going to click and drag out a box. I'm going to say Mushroom by Mr. Martinez. Okay, I'm going to put this layer above, right there, and I'm going to move it down here, and there's my masterpiece. So again, this tutorial, we showed you how to do selections, quick selection tools, clone tool, play around with some brushes, and we added a little bit of text to our simple mushroom photo.